Peace, family. It's your girl, Lani G, the CEO and founder of Loving the Journey with Lani G. I am a spiritual mentor and intuitive healer for Black women. I help Black women learn who they are, what they need, and how to align with their life's vision. And so you can see that title of the video, sis. It says that what we're talking about today is how to begin to trust your intuition. Specifically, 3 ways, 3 tips, tricks I use and used in the beginning of my journey to really help me to start to trust my intuition. And so why this is an issue for us specifically is because we have become so disconnected from our bodies. We've become so disconnected from our intuition and what it is that we know to be true, because we have been questioned, we have been gaslighted, one of those. We have been just, driven away from our inner knowing in many ways since childhood. And so Black women, all right, we are incredibly powerful when we trust our intuition and when we have that knowing that can't nobody question you. Like I said what I said type of energy. And so for me to get here, I've been it's been a journey for sure. And I wanted to share some things with you all that I tried, different things you can try to start to build the relationship with your intuition. And ultimately really with your body again, to understand what your body is communicating with you. But before we get into that, I'm gonna always give you all the reminders of the things that are available for you if you want to work with me. So get your shit together. Applications are open again, okay? So we reduced the time frame a bit to make it like a 6-week program that ends with the 3-day retreat. Well, actually 4-day retreat here in Houston, Texas. So some changes have been made. But the program at its core is still the same. It's just a little bit more condensed. And we'll be meeting once a week instead of bi-weekly. So it's really exciting. I'm super excited to do this and to get us going, get us ready for the energetic shift that will come at the spring equinox. The time when spring has sprung. So if you're wanting to book, if you're wanting to be a part of that program, definitely apply at the link below. It's for Black women that are ready to get started or restarted on your healing journey. And so, yeah, that's available for you. And so I also mailed off one of my resources today to somebody who purchased the Get Your Shit Together journaling guidebook, which the new version has, the new cover, it has a lighter color. So for the guys and the gals, for the days, what is it? What did they be saying? The gays and the days? Everybody, you're welcome to purchase these resources. Okay, but they're for Black women originally. I don't know why I said everybody then. Anyway, but Black women are gay too. All right, I don't know where I'm going with this. Mercury is definitely in retrograde, but you have these available at the link below at my shop. These are powerful healing resources to help you on your journey, especially if you're not quite at the space or phase of life where you're ready to jump right into a program. And so I recommended this actually to someone last week that was wanting to, start hire a spiritual coach and stuff like that. And after we talked, I realized they weren't in a space to actually do that work yet. They had to cultivate a relationship with themselves first. And for that, I recommend journaling. That is really a huge part of the work that I do, that I guide my clients through. And it's really what started my own journey, when I was able to reflect on who it is I was, how I spoke to myself, how do I really feel about life. And so these journaling guidebooks give you space, time, opportunity, and they give you a guide on journaling and processing, because a lot of us that don't journal or haven't journaled before consistently with discipline, we I don't know what to talk about, so I don't want to journal at all. When really we're kind of avoiding something, or we're hitting a block in our journaling and not really knowing how to move forward in that processing, that self-processing. So that's available for you at the link below. Definitely invest in yourself, invest in your healing. You are worthy of that. And, it will return tenfold and beyond. All right, so the updates are done. So the 3 ways that you can build trust with your intuition. The first, and it's real easy, okay? The first is to pee when you have to pee. The first time you feel that urge, you feel a little twinge, and you're like, I gotta pee. Go pee that time. Don't wait till you feel it a third time, or wait till you about to, let it go on your way to the toilet. Pee the first time you feel the urge. And what this does, okay, is you listening the first time your body communicates something with you. And so we have been taught, we've been conditioned. In school, you only get to go to the bathroom this many times, or you have to have a pass to go to the bathroom, you gotta wait. all of that. So one way, it's been institutionalized within us to separate from our body's intuitive, nudges. And so if I gotta pee and I'm holding it, I'm making my body stay somewhere where it's uncomfortable. That is one way that we can do a disservice to ourselves. And so now that we're not, the people that I'm intending to work with are not in like school in the sense where you will have to be policed on when you use the bathroom and how many times you go. We are able to do this. We're able to honor our bodies and say, oh, I gotta pee. Let me go pee. Let me go pee right now. I don't gotta wait. What am I waiting for? My body is ready to release. I'm gonna let my body release. Okay, and this is a bigger message. When my body is ready to release, I'm going to release. This will help us to understand if our body is leaning towards releasing something. And so we can, be more in tune with that, in tune with our intuition. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is that if you are about to make a decision, if it feels like, I don't know, it's a no. The universe is very good at showing us a hell yes. And it feels like a hell yes. And you know what a hell yes feels like. And so when we know that, it's kind of like going against ourselves when we're like, I'm not too sure. If you're not too sure, what you can do is pause. So here is that my second tip is if it's an I don't know, it's a no. And my caveat to that is at this moment. And so the next tip that helps you to build trust with your intuition is not deciding right away. So a lot of the times when we're in conflict or even just like conflict within ourselves on making a decision, we don't know what the best thing to do is. We don't feel like we've vetted all the options. Now, don't get into analysis paralysis. We can definitely go here. But what we can do here is get closer to our spirit and pausing. You know how they say when somebody asks you, do you want to do something or can you do this with them? You instantly, as women, we're like, yeah. But later on realize I shouldn't have committed to that. That was overbooking me or, just overexpending me, like all of these things. And so what we can learn to do is pause, check in with us, check in with self and say, is that something that would serve me? Is that something that I would like to do? Is this something that would bring me joy? Is this something that would benefit? Whatever questions you have to ask yourself. Now, again, not making it a 10 million item long list, but really making space to sit with yourself before deciding. And so what this does in building our trust with our intuition is learning how our spirit communicates with us when it's a yes, when it's a no, when it's a not right now, when it's a something you need to maybe change course on. We'll be able to better understand that because we've paused and allowed for time to respond rather than to react and just do things out of habit, because that's when we're moving mindlessly through life. And we want to move towards moving mindfully through our lives, thinking about the things before we do them, moving forward with intention. And so that's what we do when we build a relationship with our intuition, because our intuition can sense things that we can maybe not see with our physical eye. And so it can really guide us where we need to go, but we have to make space for them to communicate with us. And so them, meaning ourselves, to communicate with us, our intuition. And so our intuition is very much so our power. So these 3 ways I hope will help you get started on building a relationship with your intuition. I think they're very powerful. Helps you to think twice, right? Being more mindful. And so to review, first is going to pee when you have to pee. Like the first time you feel it, going to the bathroom, okay? Not waiting, going to the bathroom. And this one it can be difficult at first because you're like, well, I could just wait. Just push yourself and say, no, let's go now. Let's go now. I don't care if you just put lotion on your hands and you got to pee again. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Go pee. Second is if it's an I don't know, it's a no, ... for now. Okay. So if you know that I don't know is like actually telling you no, and you just don't want to say no, go ahead and say no. And so with the caveat is if you really feel you have to think on it a little bit more, don't say an answer yet. Don't give an answer yet. Don't decide on anything yet. Just pause. And then tip 3 is to sit with yourself. And so with this though, with the sitting with yourself, I want to say, don't sit forever. And so a tip that I read in a book that I was reading recently was saying how if it's a minor decision, right, like not super life-changing, sit on it. Maybe I'll sit on this for 3 days, maybe a week. Okay. And so for the bigger decisions that require more, maybe even more research to give you a full scope of things, but understanding our intuition sometimes makes us move before we have a full scope. So there's caveats all up in here, but to keep it simple, really allowing yourself to pause for a certain amount of time, to give yourself a deadline for making a decision as well, because that's also how you learn how to trust your intuition overall, is by deciding to trust it and doing what it says to do. And so if you sit forever and never do anything, you're still not trusting your intuition. So listening to it and then taking action based on what it has communicated with you. And so let me know if this video provided you any value. I'm super excited to be sharing these things with you all. It just got lit on my heart that I will be sharing probably more witchy things later. I'm really excited to be diving more into that part of who I am. And, you know, we are in Aquarius season. We're letting the freak flags fly, and I am letting all of me be shown, because, you know, I want to attract the community that is in alignment with all of me, not just a certain part of me. So you'll be seeing a lot more content from me, from also always a spiritual perspective, but, you know, more honed in on what it is that I think our community, our ancestry, should be talking about. And so thank you for tuning into this video. I'm sending you so much love. Happy Monday. I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's video. And, you know, we gonna kiki it up. We gonna kiki it up, sis. Okay. Make sure you like this video, leave a comment on what resonated most with you, and subscribe. Okay. Make sure you stay in community over here. Check out those links below. Apply for the Get Your Shit Together program. Look at my shop to see what resources I have available for you, and invest in yourself. You already invested your time. Now let's invest a little bit more of that energy into your wellness and your holistic liberation. Okay. Peace. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you love the journey.